So once upon a time in a jungle, all the animals were asked a question that who do they think is the most evil animal? And they all said unanimously that it's the lion because it can pounce from anywhere and kill them for food. But when the same question was asked to the grass said that the deer is the most evil animal and the lion is the protector as it keeps the deer's population in check. So it's not all about the intent, it's about the perspective also. Similarly, when we humans, with all the genuineness and pure intent, say that we should nurture the nature, nature might have a different perspective. It may say that I don't need the nurturing from the humans, I'm capable enough to heal myself. All that I need from the humans to stop disrupting me and simply let me be. So the perspective here is that our core strategy should be to prevent the damage and not to repair the damage. Hi, I'm Samira Satija, founder of Crockery Bank for Everyone. I'm serving as Haryana State President Wiki Bioenzyme Council. I'm also acting as a technical expert and trainer into sustainable ventures and green skills and livelihood programs. I'm also associated with the Gurujal, an NGO which is working for water security in India. In the next few minutes, I'll just tell you the story behind Crockery Bank for Everyone. And I would also like to tell you about which drove me to leave my government job. I worked with the government department for 29 years and then left my job to follow my passion for sustainable living. And in the last, I'm going to offer you a deal with some actionable steps and solution-oriented ideas to take a measure for the theme to prevent the damage. So the story goes back to 2017 when I was still working with the government, but I thought of doing some volunteering activity during my free time. So I contacted an NGO. This NGO was assigned with a task called Kachra Chowk to Khushbu Chowk. So the idea was, the background story was that there was a land where all the waste was being dumped and the residents living around that place were having a terrible time because of the smell and the stink and the stench coming from the dump yard. So they were of course taking up with the authorities, and finally the authorities roped in this NGO and assigned the task. So the task was to clear the kachra from there and to grow fragrant plants there to eradicate the stench hanging in the air. So another alternative site was assigned to us where all the waste was to be transferred. So as a volunteer, I got to visit this site, and it was a huge, huge mountain of waste. I have never seen such volume of waste in my life. It was Bandhwari landfill site, which was named after the village nearby. So during the process, I got to visit the village and to meet the villagers. And it was shocking to see the different life altogether. They were having a terrible time. There were flies, there was stink all over the village. Each house were having one or more family members suffering from either cancer, kidney dysfunction, lungs dysfunction, skin problem, eyes problem, respiratory problems. The cattle were falling sick, the children were falling sick, and there have been deaths also due to the cancer. So, that made my nights restless. I used to feel sad, I used to feel heavy and guilty at the same time. Because the most hard-hitting fact was that it was our waste which has become their destiny. So I thought to myself, I'm not going to send my waste into that landfill. So I started, collecting information about the waste management through online portals and attending some expert session. And within no time, I turned my home into zero waste homes. I started, composting my wet waste. I've stopped using any single-use plastic. In fact, stopped using any kind of single-use item. I start segregating my dry waste. I used to call the recycler and hand him over the dry waste and the e-waste separately. I stopped using sanitary pads and shifted toward menstrual cups. I start making my own natural cleaners to replace all the chemicals. So it was very empowering. It was empowering to see that handling your kitchen waste alone can reduce the landfill by 60%. So I started teaching others also. I felt so happy that I can see the landfill vanishing. So I started teaching NGOs, starting having sessions with RWS, with universities, with schools, and with every session I got more evolved. I sort of recalibrated the way I used to consume, the way I used to conduct, and the way I used to celebrate. And then I started to see the waste from a different lens. If I put it in a better way, I started seeing waste everywhere, on the roadside, in the party, in a wedding, in a temple, everywhere. And I would come back and work on the solutions. So one day I was coming back from my office, I saw a cow, choking and falling on the ground after swallowing a styrofoam plate. Because the styrofoam plates were lying there after a bhandara has happened over there. You all must have seen the heap of the styrofoam plates after the bhandara. So I thought of myself, let me talk to the organizer and then we can definitely work on the solutions. But to my shock, they were in a complete denial mode. For them, using plastic crockery or the styrofoam crockery was okay, but I keep telling them about the harms of the single-use plastic. Its harm on environment, it harms on animals, on cows, and about the Bandhwari, villages. And then one of them snapped back at me and said, कि फिर क्या करें? अगर ये use नहीं करें, तो फिर क्या करें? Market में तो यही मिलता है. And I realized that it's a valid argument. And then again I thought to myself, let me find the pattas for them. Let me go to the market and find the green pattas for them. But again, to my disappointment, there were no pattas available in the market. The shopkeeper told me that the pattas have discontinued a long time back, and now they have been replaced by all this styrofoam crockery, which is very white in color, very good looking, but very, very toxic for the human health and for the environment. And again, at that moment, I thought that I have to work on the solution. And then I shelled out my saving, purchased the crockery, and on 22nd June 2018, on the day of Nirjala Ekadashi, I announced the idea of Crockery Bank for Everyone through my social media account. So Crockery Bank for Everyone is a collection of stainless steel crockery, which anyone can take for any kind of social or religious event. And it works on a very simple format that take it, use it, wash it, and drop it back, and you don't have to pay any charges for that. Yet it is free, 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 free of charge, free of garbage, and free of any toxins. So I did this initiative as a very, very humble, effort to provide a sustainable alternative for people like me who don't want to, but forced to use a single-use crockery, as there was no other alternative available. So it was nothing fancy. It was a very, very humble idea, and I had never imagined that it will turn into a movement, a nationwide movement. The people welcomed it hugely. The media helped me a lot. Every newspaper, every news channel, every influencer, they talked about this free crockery bank through their platforms. Ministry of Steel, Government of India, and Union Minister of State, Jal Shakti, they awarded this initiative under Sustainability Vision. And celebrities like Gautam Gambhir, Sonu Sood, Richa Anirudh, even Amitabh Bachchan, they spoke about this initiative through their platforms. And I am very elated to say that today I have 37 teams all across the nation, and with the collective efforts, we have been able to save more than 19 lakh single-use plastic, and the number is still increasing. So the Crockery Bank initiative was just an extension to what I was doing. I was empowering and educating the communities about the conservation of natural resources. The most favorite part to interact with the youth, and it still is. Because as the previous speaker has said, that they are the future custodian of the earth. And I want to empower them because I don't want to make them the same mistake which our generation, had done. So, but I found that it was getting very confusing and conflicting for them, because from the heart they were started to align with the nature, but the outside world was different. They were ending up joining the same industry, the same polluting industry, which were only profit driven and didn't care about the planet. So I thought it's a gap. I thought we have to rework on the strategy. The idea of circular economy has just started to emerge, but it turned out to be, the ecosystem turned out to be non-conducive due to the absence of young and trained entrepreneurs who could lead the circular economy idea. So I thought, let me again find a solution to this. So I did the research, I studied the value chain, I studied the supply chain, I studied the legal framework, and then I studied all the aspects of setting a small-scale green business, and finally I came up with a module to offer to the entrepreneurs with the commitment, with the promise to give them an end-to-end support and to create green entrepreneurs. But again, there was a point when I had to take a very critical decision of my life because I knew that I cannot handle this avenue because of the limitation of time and the prohibition of doing any such activity as a government employee. So I had to choose between the two, and the decision was obvious. I left my job and I have never regretted my decision. I love working with the youth. I love, interacting with the green entrepreneurs. And I have worked with IIT Roorkee. I have worked with Bal Raksha Bharat. I have worked with many corporates and helped in their livelihood programs and skill development programs. And I have helped many youth to launch their products and set up their own production unit of, green products. So, now I have saved the best for the last. Now it's the time for making the deal. So I'm going to offer you 4 options, 4 offers. One, I'm going to offer a pro bono career counseling session on green jobs. Second, I'm offering a volunteering and internship opportunity to have a hands-on experience in water conservation through a nature-based solution. Third, I'm offering you a end-to-end support and technical knowledge about setting up a thrift store or textile waste unit. And in the last, I'm going to offer you WhatsApp support, continuous WhatsApp support, if you want to embark on the journey of zero waste and want to have technical or practical tips. So these are all the offers, and again, these offers are also free. If any of the offers make you sound, it is thrilling, it's exciting, you can reach out to me. That's all from my side. Thank you for being a very lovely audience. Thank you so much.